Hey everyone, and welcome back. I am Violet, and this is Violet Tries Painting. We are doing the month of July, June to July's, I believe, or July to August. I'm rusty on this. It's the Deck of Painting update. Let's get into it. So I am filming this like the day before the update's actually supposed to go out. I was feeling a little lazy this time around. I already pre-picked products. I pre-picked cards. I was just like, you know what, let me just do this real quick. I wasn't intending on recording, but here we are. I was like, let's just do it. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy editing the video, and I enjoy getting it out there. So this is what we're doing. I pulled the Queen of Black Clubs back in May, and for that product, it was my. I messed up last video. I said it was a combination of two foundations. It's just one. I don't know what I was. I guess it's just because in my head I know there's two in here, but when I picked it, it was only supposed to be one product. So it is actually my Wet n Wild foundation that I do have mixed in here. So I have this still rolled in since May. We've been working on it I think since the end of April, actually, since I've been putting it into a project, but this is how much I have left. We are getting down to the wire. We are using it up. It is two foundations mixed in, plus a highlighter stick, plus a skincare product, but I don't have that much left. I thought I would be done with it by this update, but I am thinking that hopefully by August, this will be done. I'm sure. I've been slowing my usage goal, or not my usage goal, my usage on this, simply because I am incorporating shop my stashes now. I am trying to not be so harsh on myself and like only use this foundation, only work through this one, neglect everything else in my collection. So if I get use off of this, I do. If I don't, I don't. It's totally fine. For last month's card that I pulled was the Three of Clubs, and for that prompt it was No Pan Left Behind. At that time, the palette that I would be working on for a 4 looks, one palette series that I have been incorporating on my Instagram for makeup looks and such, which is always linked in the description box. But at the time, it was one of my Cara Beauty palettes. This is the With You palette. This is a very boring palette to me and in my collection, just being that it is just neutral brown shades. So it's nothing special, nothing like exciting. But I did find that I really enjoyed using this palette this time around. I don't know why, I don't know how, but I just did. So I rolled this palette in to do No Pan Left Behind, meaning I have to use each of the shades in here. It wasn't a big challenge because obviously I could use every single one of these once, if not twice, sometimes 3 times. So I did record that on the back of this palette. So for this first shade called Baby, I used it once. For this next shade called Always, I used it twice. For Garden Date, I used this one twice. And then lastly on the end for No Doubt here, I used that one twice as well. The second row or bottom row, Your Smile, I used that twice. I'm sorry, it's hard to read. I have blue tape and I wrote a blue Sharpie, so I don't know what I was thinking. Magic Portion, I used it 3 times. I believe the next one's called Two of Us. I used it twice, and then the last one, Soft Hug, I used that 4 times, and I completed my goal June 16th. The next card I pulled last month was the 5 of Diamonds, and this prompt was fragrance, I believe. Yes, fragrance. That was anything, mist, perfume, fragrance, etc. I believe it was the prompt. You can watch the previous video, the previous update to this if you'd like clarification, but I rolled in this really, really, really old, oops, I had it backwards, old perfume. I've had this since I want to say either middle school or high school, somewhere around that. So that is a really long time. I technically have started way before this project, but I have had a significant like dip here. My goal was to use this only 5 times, which of course I did accomplish that, but I'm just trying to use this up because I don't use perfumes. I do have and suffer from eczema, and some fragrances do kind of irritate my skin, so I am trying to use this up as simply a room spray, not necessarily sprayed on me, so that way I could get this used up. Hopefully I will be done with it by the end of the year. That is my main goal, but I did set a usage goal because I knew that I was not going to remember otherwise to get this done, but I did it. The next card I pulled was 10 of Spades, which the prompt was glittery. I chose the Wet n Wild glitter icon single, and this one's in the shade called Spiked. I set extremely the lowest usage goal ever of 1 because I knew that for the month of June. It was Pride Month, and I was expecting to go to a Pride parade, which I didn't go, unfortunately, this year. Maybe next year, but my goal was to either use this during that parade or just in a look. So I did do that. I will try and pop up that look on the screen for you if you want to see it. The next card I pulled was the Jack of Spades, and this one prompt was powder product. At the time, I picked a shade from my SOFX and Revolution palette. This is her first collab with my oldest palette in my collection, and I chose to roll in the shade called Pancakes, which, as you can see, it does have a pan, which was my goal because this is also kind of part of my pan that palette in order. But yeah, so I had dropped this shade and it broke off in a corner, so I just kind of expanded that a little bit to consider. I hit pan on it. I could have worked on another section, but I didn't want to. I just went with that. But anyways, this was a 5 usage goal, obviously accomplished because it was my setting shade for my eyeshadow primer, and then underneath my eyes for the concealers I've been using have been creasing heavily on me, so I just used that to set it. So like I mentioned like a couple seconds ago, still from May, when this card was pulled, the Queen of Clubs, I want to say. I will correct myself on the screen if I got that wrong, which we're still working on. The Wet n Wild foundation hopefully should be done by August. That is my goal and my hopefulness. If not, it's totally okay. It's not a big deal, but still working on this one. So I will show y'all the 4 other cards that I had pulled. I did pre-pick these probably the day of or the day after that Emily randomized the board for the month. Cards pulled. First one is the 7 of Clubs, which the prompt is pattern. Jack of Black Spades, which this prompt is powder product again. The 4 of Diamonds. This prompt is the most recent purchase. And then the last card I pulled was the 8 of Spades, and this prompt is called Oh the Shame. So for the first card, this one is again the 8 of Spades. Prompt was Oh the Shame, and I believe that this prompt description is something you haven't used in a while, or it's been heavily neglected, to my knowledge and off the top of my head, but I will correct it on the screen for you guys. For this card, I pulled in a Wet n Wild Velvet Matte Lip Color. This is something that has been sitting in my drawer since like I purchased it. I bought this with the intent that it was going to look like this color, which I can get by. I think it's more like cool tone than I normally would wear or would even choose, but I mean, it looks sort of brown. So I'm like, I like a brown lipstick. I think I'm gonna like it. No, this is the shade called Looking for Truffle. So as you can see here, it does have a little bit of redness. And when I swatch it, it does show through. So it's not a true like brown color or matching anything on the cap, but whatever, that's fine. I'm gonna have to find a use for it, either maybe as a blush or something. We'll figure it out. But my usage goal for this is set at 3 times. For the card 7 of Clubs, the prompt is called Pattern, and for this one, it's funny enough, I looked through all of my products, and not a lot of them have any embossing on them or any sort of pattern on them. Luckily, I found one out of everything I own. It's weird. Like, am I not gravitating towards an embossed product? The packaging I am, but the product itself, I guess not so much. But I was lucky enough to have found this. It's two-potted, but it's part of the e.l.f. Bite Size Face Duo. This is in the shade called Lychee. This is the highlighter portion of that duo. Came out a blush and a highlighter. So since it's got the diagonal lines on it, and you can actually feel like that embossment a little bit, I put this on a usage goal for 5 times. So a little bit more than the previous, but it's still doable. And I think that I can multi-purpose this as an eyeshadow and a highlighter, so I think those 5 goals will be easy to accomplish. The Jack of Clubs, which again, the prompt for this one is powder product. Funny how I've had that like twice in a row. For that, I chose the blush that is actually in my Shop My Stash series, which is an oldie, but this is a goodie. This is the L'Oreal Paradise Enchanted Scented Blush. I do have the shade Fantastical. It is a pretty like peachy sort of color. It's got a little bit of sheen to it. It's a very like calming color, but perfect for summer. And it's a pretty like easy wearable shade to combine with pretty much any eye look. I am not wearing it. I am not wearing it. I'm not wearing it today. Can I English? I can never English. But yeah, I'm not wearing it today because I am testing out another blush that I just recently picked up, which is on my Instagram. If you want to go check it out, by all means, go for it. But my usage goal for this, I set at 5 times. And the last card that I had pulled is the 4 of Diamonds. For this prompt, it was most recent purchase, and at the time, it was something that I am very proud to admit that I got on sale and for a heavily good discount. Walked into Walmart, of course in the makeup section, because I love the makeup section the most, and I saw that they discounted the Hard Candy Face Off liquid bronzers, or luminous gel bronzers I should say, and they had the shade that I was going to pick out. So instead of it being like $8, it was $3, and I was like, say no more, this is going in my basket. So my most recent purchase at the time of choosing this was this, or yeah, like a week ago choosing. So my goal for this one is set at 5. Again, another easy to attain goal because it is in my Shop My Stash series, or Shop My Stash basket thing for this month, so it's easy to use up. That's what I'm trying to get at. I don't know where my words are at. That concludes my update for this month. Let me know what cards you picked out or you got this month if you are participating in this Project Pan in the comments down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye, guys.